Everyone good over here? Amber, how are you? You look tan. Florida for break?
Oh, you went to Florida?
Like that. I was like, oh god, we're gonna like this.
You good?
I was like, oh.
Oh, that's on the report. It's not on the agenda?
That's correct.
Ah.
All right, good evening, everyone. We will call to order this meeting of the Rocky Hill Board of Education, April 20th, 2023, 7 p.m. in the Rocky Hill Town Hall Council Chambers. This meeting is being live streamed to the Rocky Hill Public Schools website. If everyone could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Before we get started with tonight's agenda, I would like to entertain a motion from the board to move item 18, Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instructions Report, up to item 1A. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mrs. Manella. Superintendent's report will now, Assistant Superintendent's report will now be item 1A. Ms. Listro, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure tonight to present to you an update on how our focus on promoting diversity in our schools and our community is going. And tonight's presentation, I am pleased to invite the students who are a part of this initiative to come forward and speak on behalf of their clubs. First up will be the GMS Cares Club with their advisor, Sandra Shelvoy. And we have students Isabella Lafredo and Natalia Gauss presenting.
Good evening. I'm Isabella Lafredo.
And I'm Natalia Gauss. We are representatives of GMS Cares. Our mission is to develop an appreciation for the diversity in our community, recognize the unique roles that our students play in making our schools and communities safe, and most importantly, a place for our students to show their leadership, creativity, and passion for our schools and community.
This year, our club has participated in several events in support of our school and community. Such events included West Hill Spirit Night, Sock Drive, gift wrapping for the seniors, Adopt a Family, and Valentine's Day cards for troops via Boxes to Boots. We are currently sponsoring a food drive for the Rocky Hill Food Pantry and will be participating in upcoming activities such as the spring cleanup and planting at the town garden and the health and wellness fair on April 26th. We are looking forward to seeing you there.
On January 12th, we had the pleasure of meeting with Mr. Eric Crawford. As a group, we discussed a variety of ways that we as a community can make the transition for all students as meaningful and welcoming as possible.
For example, students discussed and shared ideas pertaining to transitioning and adjusting to a new school, school expectations, school schedules, time management, homework on team, making friends socially, and extracurricular activities. Thank you.
Next up is the Justice for All group at Rocky Hill High School with their club advisors, Ms. Vivian Guzman and Catherine Mader.
I think we're good. Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Janelle Osei Tutu. I'm a senior at Rocky Hill High School.
My name is Nicholas Schokol, and I'm a junior at Rocky Hill High School.
And we're the presidents of Justice for All. Justice for All is a group dedicated to promoting diversity and equity in our school. We focus on providing a safe space for everyone discussing topics that are often neglected in today's societies.
We focus on educating the community about marginalized and oppressed groups in order to create an environment that is positive for everyone, regardless of their race, gender identity, sexual orientation, or disabilities. In the past year, we've had productive meetings that have discussed topics such as privilege, mental health, and much more. Additionally, I've done displays throughout our school for Black History Month and Asian American Pacific Islander Month. We recognize the diversity in our community and the large steps our community has taken the past few years to create a better community. However, we also recognize that there's still a long way to go in order to create a space that is welcoming for all students.
Our club is currently working alongside the National Honor Society to host an international event during our school's annual Holy event. We are hosting a Cultural Spirit Day coming up May 12th to allow students to feel comfortable come to school expressing their cultures. Our school struggles with promoting diversity, so we're actively working to combat that. We are excited to see the future of Justice for All community. Thank you.
Our next club is Girl Up at Rocky Hill High School, and their club advisor is Miss Lisa Urzo.
Good evening. My name is Aberi Basak, and I'm a junior at Rocky Hill High School.
And my name is Grace Tatuno, and I'm also a junior at Rocky Hill High School, and we are presidents of Girl Up.
Our club's mission is to promote gender equality and empower women in the Rocky Hill community. This year, we did a period product drive, which raised 42 boxes containing over 1,500 individual feminine hygiene products for the Rocky Hill Food Pantry. During our club meetings, we have important discussions about women's rights issues, body image, and political issues, and more. Our club has also created videos explaining important women's health topics that will be shown in high school health classes. We are also involved in school events such as the Holy event hosted by the National Art Honor Society taking place next month, celebrating many different cultures. We have also made numerous displays throughout the high school for National Women's History Month.
The Women's Career Panel, which took place on International Women's Day last month, was a huge success. We had a diverse group of 12 women from different career fields such as education, sports medicine, politics, and more. Over 50 students attended this event where they brought questions for the panelists in a Q&A session, which was followed by a reception where students could talk individually to specific panelists they connected with. Students were able to see themselves in the panelists and saw what the future holds for them after high school. This event was planned by Mrs. Guzman, Miss Urso, Miss Listro, and I. After this success, we plan on having this event every year on International Women's Day. Thank you for having us tonight.
Next is the Pride Alliance Group at Rocky Hill High School, led by their club advisor, Ms. Maureen Krause and Dylan Dukos.
Good evening. My name is Colin Lamontagne, and I'm a senior. I use he, they pronouns, and thank you for having us. I'm not from Rocky Hill, but when I came here, I had never felt accepted until I joined the RHHS Pride Club. In middle school, I was bullied and treated differently, and I was scared to be myself. I came to RHHS in September of 2020, and I joined the Pride Club after Mrs. Krause talked to me about it. I met amazing people and kept going for 3 more years. I wish I had the chance to be in a club like this years ago. The club is a safe place for the LGBTQ plus community and allies. Last year, we participated in a day of silence to commemorate those in the community who have been silenced, and we also participated in the first town-wide Pride event. We have 6 officers, including me and Beck, to make sure everyone feels safe and heard. As the year wraps up, I am preparing to become a high school graduate, as well as some of my peers, and I hope our contributions to this club will leave a mark on the new officers once we pass on the torch on to them. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Beck Markowitz. I'm also a senior at Rocky Hill High School. My pronouns are they, them. Along with last year's National Day of Silence, we actually are hosting another one tomorrow, and I brought an example of a pass for that event, where students can choose to take a vigil of silence in honor of those in the LGBTQ plus community who feel silenced because of their identity. Here at RHHS, the Pride Club is a great space for those in this community, us included, to share their identity and feel safe doing so when sometimes in an environment where we don't really have that opportunity. So we're really grateful for the Pride Club's existence, and we hope to do many more events in the years to come.
Our next after-school club is the Model United Nations, the Model UN Club. Their advisor, Mr. Mike Dudas, could not be here tonight, but I understand there is a representative who will be speaking on the club's behalf. Okay, great.
Good evening, Honorable Chair and fellow delegates. My bad. That is how we open a speech at a Model UN conference. Without the support of the Board of Education, we would have never heard this phrase at Rock Hill High School. Thanks to you all, we hear it every day and almost every week at our Model UN simulations. My name is Adant Bosle, President of Model UN at Rock Hill High School, and I personally would like to thank Town Councilor Mr. Prakash for his guidance on generating community awareness and support for the Model UN program. Mr. Slattery for getting the board approval, and Principal Fody for providing the daily support and guidance. Thanks to your efforts, this club has grown to be incredibly successful in the past months. On our first day, we had a total of 42 attendees, and more than 50% still attend regularly. We have debated various topics, spanning from nuclear disarmament to World War II. Model UN helps students improve leadership skills, enhance global awareness, and negotiation skills. You never know. Rocky Hill may produce its first UN diplomat in years to come. Now I'll be handing it over to Vice President Anvi Bose.
Hi, my name is Anvi Bose, the vice president of this club, and I know from experience how much of an impact this club has. We recently had the amazing opportunity to bring 8 of our delegates to the Boston University Model UN Conference, where we were given the opportunity to work and debate with students from all over the world. We even had one delegate win an award in their committee. Attending conferences like Bosman gave us the opportunity to see how an integral part of our world relations works. And the skills I was able to hone there have helped me succeed further than just in these conferences. Every person in Model UN, even if they have not had the opportunity to attend such an event yet, reaps these benefits from participating in debate. Our efforts to teach these skills in our school club come to fruition not only at conferences where awards can be won, but in the classroom and in the world around us.
The Bosman Conference taught us many things, not only about Model UN, but about the real world as well. It was unfortunate that only 8 could attend, and I wish that more could have attended. I see potential in our skills and among my peers and feel the need to expand the program at our school. I'm proposing a Rocky Hill High School Model UN Conference, which will be open to all of our students, but also to students in surrounding towns. We will need your support to make this happen. We have the potential to become one of the greatest schools at Model UN. Thank you.
The next club we are going to hear from is called Youth to Youth Coalition. It is a group of students from the middle school and the high school that work in conjunction with our town. Our Youth and Family Services, Ms. Lori Stanzik and Ms. Kelly Aliyah, are here tonight with 2 of their representatives to talk about their work.
Hi, my name is Nick Jokel, and I'm a current junior. Want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Natalia Goss.
So we are the Rock Hill Youth to Youth Coalition. I've been in this group since 6th grade, and I'm a current junior, so it was like one of the first extracurricular groups I joined. And we are the Rocky Hill Youth and Family Services Advisory Board and the Local Prevention Council, and we meet every second Wednesday every month from 3 to 4:15. Our goals are to educate, mentor, advocate, disseminate, and provide youth leadership and community service opportunities for students in the middle and high school. So we have had a lot of activities to date. So focusing on prevention and education, every year we do Red Ribbon and Kindness Weeks. And we do drug take-back days with the Rocky Hill Police Department. We have one coming up this weekend. We also have done drug awareness panel discussions. We've done vaping, mental health, opioid, gambling, information disseminations, and PSAs with those. We've done internet safety programs, violence prevention discussions, home alone safety classes. And every year we do Project Graduation, which is a big event for the senior class. We've done collaborations with school clubs. One specific is GMS Cares and the Rise and the Pride Club. We have provided pre-prom awareness displays and community-wide Pride events, focusing on positive youth development, which is healthy alternatives to risky behavior. We have hosted grade-level GMS dances and socials. We've mentored the Cops and Kids after-school program, mentored the Equine Experiential program. We've mentored the Stress Busters group, the Art Explorers and Circus Arts class for the elementary school students, and we partnered with Rocky Hill Senior Center to provide intergenerational activities and events. Focusing on leadership and team building, we have provided a lot of opportunities to build leadership through team building, working with Empower Leadership. We have formed a teen council which meets quarterly to address youth and family issues. And we have also attended multiple conferences about prevention and leadership. And finally, focusing on community service and hours for Rocky Hills high school students. Every year we do Adopt a Family for Thanksgiving, Easter, and Christmas, which is donations to holiday baskets, which goes straight to families in Rocky Hill. We've hosted food drives, assisted in the Rocky Hill Food Pantry garden planting, and we created care kits for homeless and displaced residents as well for people in Ukraine who are currently struggling. And finally, we march in the Memorial Day Parade every year. Thank you for your time.
Our last club is a Mosier group. They call themselves the Roaring Raptors, and their advisor is our very own diversity consultant, Eric Crawford.
Good evening. We're proud to present a new program at Mosier called the Roaring Raptors. The goal of this program is to help students build leadership skills to actively participate as a mentor and a positive role model in our learning community. This is a student-led group of 12 diverse student participants, and they meet with us to achieve their personal goals, learn from diverse perspectives and various cultures, in addition to learning how they can contribute to the school and home environment. The leadership groups meets with me and Eric Crawford to discuss their accomplishments and growth opportunities. This evening, we have 3 students that volunteered to be here to share with you their new experience as a Roaring Raptor. First, I would like to present Adam Lee.
Hi, my name is Adam. I'm a 4th grader at Mosier. Before I joined the Roaring Raptors, I would get in trouble more than a usual kid. But after joining the group, I learned to listen more and participate in classes. I feel supported by my school, peers, and teachers. At the meetings every Friday, we get a rubric, and the next week we bring it back to Mr. Crawford to show how we did throughout the week in class. I wrote 3 pages about Puerto Rico as one of our challenges. And we only had to write 1 or 2 paragraphs, but I wanted to write extra to impress Mr. Crawford. I find these challenges fun, and they help me work hard in the group. This group has taught me that a leader is someone who does not follow the crowd, but instead leads it.
Hello, my name is... Wait, is it working?
It's working.
Hello, my name is Liam, and I am also a 4th grader at Mosier. Being a part of the Roaring Raptor leadership group has taught me to be a better listener and to follow direction. I feel like I am a lot more confident and able to be myself. Since the group taught me to be a leader, I would love for the group to expand so that my friends could see what we do and be able to join. My favorite part of the group so far is when we got jerseys for writing about Puerto Rico and that we got McDonald's gift cards. To me, being a leader is when you go against the crowd and do the right thing no matter what.
Okay.
They can see you when you speak.
All right.
See ya.
Hi, my name is Cameron, and I'm a fourth grader at Mosier 2. The Roaring Raptors has taught me to help others and be kind to them while also helping them become better. Before I was a Roaring Raptor, I didn't help others, but now I do, and the group inspires me to be better. As a group, we meet and talk about all the things we can do for others. My favorite thing about the group is that we meet and see other kids inspire each other to be kinder people. I would love for this group to grow so that other kids can join and we can all talk about how to be better behaved. Now that I am a part of the group, I have become nicer and stopped interrupting in class. It is nice to feel supported by a group of kids like me.
Well, I'll be brief. Those guys have set it off. First, I want to thank the parents of the kids who participate in the group. We had a Zoom the other night with all the parents, quite a few of them. So I want to thank you guys for trusting your kids with me. That doesn't happen that often, but in this case, it's pretty good. It's just been, I don't even call this working with these kids. They came to the group with a certain skill set. So they were empathetic. They had a lot of core things that we didn't have to touch on, so we could get right into the leadership piece of it. But there was, the whole program is built about taking accountability for your behavior, right? So they had a rubric every week they had to take. Then they come, we meet every Friday, we sit, we talk about why didn't you get to the 4 or 5 level? Why are you on the 2 and 3? What do you have to do the next week to get to 4 and 5? And every week it'd be some type of prize, McDonald's, cards, Uno cards, just a number of things, just incentivize them that when you do good, you get rewarded. And when you don't do good, you meet with Mr. Crawford after the group. So they had too many of those kids. They learned the first time they met with me, they had to get it together. But I went to Puerto Rico. I was out in Puerto Rico, and the diversity piece of it was that I didn't know how many of these kids knew about the culture of Puerto Rico. So I Zoomed from Puerto Rico. We zoomed right into the meeting because I was there and they were in the group waiting. And the chickens were running across the road. I was showing the chickens and everything. And I said, hey, when I get back, whoever could do some research on the history of Puerto Rican people, you'll get a prize from me when I get back. And I think it was Adam, Lamb, those guys, they wrote like 3 or 4 paragraphs. Just blew it away. And a bunch of other kids did a couple of sentences. But we try to incorporate all kinds of things in that program. And what we want to do is, at the end of the school year, we're going to start preparing these kids. They could go back next year and work with other 4th graders. Take the leadership stuff we taught them, then they could put it in action. That's what we'll like to do at that point. And also, we want to continue to build our relationship with the parents. I mean, you were on the Zoom the other night, and we had a good time on the Zoom. And I appreciate the phone calls from the parents after we got off the Zoom. Because we all, you know, the world is changing. These kids, it's not like when we was kids. When I was kids, they were like, I got to school in a horse and buggy. That's how old I am. It's different now. So we want to continue to work with the parents, help them out, help develop their parenting skills in terms of school. And I think it's just been, I wouldn't even call it work. It's been therapeutic for me. So I appreciate it. And I appreciate you guys for allowing me in your district. So, any questions? And I wore my Yard Go stuff because we're taking them Sunday.
Ooh.
Treat their parents to the Yard Go game, and we're going to have an owner box for that day. Ooh. So they're going to big time it with their parents. Wow. So it's going to be a good day Friday, nice. Not Friday, Sunday, when they get an opportunity to treat their parents to a baseball game. So thank you, guys.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Crawford.
That's my report.
All right, thank you.
Chairman. Thank you.
That was excellent, Ms. Listro. And I think, you know, number one, on behalf of the board, thank you. And it also just, I think it shows the incredible programs, the incredible opportunities we have here in the town of Rocky Hill, and just the great families, parents, and students that we have. So I think just on behalf of the board, I really want to give all the parents, the students, and the families here another round of applause. You're doing great things. with that, I am now going to turn it over to Dr. Zito to talk about some more great things going on in Rocky Hill, and we have some special recognitions tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Dillon. Mr. Maziarz, come on up here, please. So I'm asking Mr. Maziarz, our principal at GMS, to say a few words about physical education teacher Terrell White. She was just named the Unified Sports Middle School Coach of the Year for the state of Connecticut.
Wow.
She wanted to be here tonight. She had a conflict. She's got something going on in her community with her son. But I did ask Jason to come up and say a few words about the efforts that Mrs. White has made to support all of our students, those with special needs, and the typical peers that participate with them as well.
Thank you, Dr. Zito. It is an honor to recognize Ms. White tonight, though she couldn't be here. It is quite an honor to receive this award. She is receiving the 2023 Unified Sports Middle School Coach of the Year, as Dr. Zito said, and that is quite an honor. I just want to say a few words to her. I'm going to show her this videotape tomorrow. She needs to hear a few good things about her, because she's just a terrific person and tremendous educator and a terrific coach. It is truly a deserving honor. And in fact, she will receive this award at a upcoming banquet at the Connecticut Association of Schools. So we're very proud of her. Terrell's been teaching in our district for over 31 years at this point, which is just incredible, and always prided herself in her ability to include kids in all activities, regardless of their abilities or disabilities. Inclusionary practices have truly been the cornerstone of her career. And when I brought her into my office today and said, I'm going to say a few words about you tonight, and the only thing she said was, I've always tried to include every kid. And she walked out of my office. So that's all she said. And that speaks volumes of Terrell White. She's an incredible person. And besides her long career that has spanned over 3 decades as a PE teacher in our school, she's been involved in unified sports for 25 years, and in fact was on the first committee that started unified sports in Rocky Hill. So that's pretty impressive. And she was selected as one of 10 educators in the U.S. to write health curriculum for the Special Olympics several years back, and has dedicated a large part of her career to unified sports. She's compassionate, flexible, dedicated, and highly motivated, and no one truly deserves the award more than Terrell White, and I hope she could have been here tonight, but certainly extend your congratulations to those of you in the crowd. She's a terrific person and an incredible coach, so congratulations to Terrell.
All right, next we're going to recognize some outstanding mathematics students. See a couple of math coaches here and math teachers from the high school. You guys coming up? Dr. Gresa, Mr. Zukta. We've got 4 students who have been recognized as American Region Math League qualifiers. This is a national competition.
It is, yes, absolutely.
So 4 kids ranging from grades 9 through 12. And I've got some certificates if you guys want to talk about these young math scholars.
Sure. Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Zito. Thank you, board members, parents, students, administrators, colleagues. Good evening. This is my co-coach, colleague, and friend, Dan Chuta. He teaches with me at Rocky Hill High School, and he teaches AP Calculus, among other classes. And because of him, the students on this math team enjoy much of the success that they do. So he's responsible for a lot of the success that they enjoy. The RHHS, first of all, you can't imagine the world of competitive mathematics that is out there. You think math is just like an SAT and then you're out of there and you forget about it. There is a whole culture of competitive mathematics that Rocky Hill has bought into now, hook, line, and sinker. And these kids are dedicated and they want to show off how competent they are in the field of mathematics. We are part of a league with 22 schools, the Capital Area Math League. It's the oldest math league in the state of Connecticut. And for the 2nd year in a row, we finished 2nd place doing advanced mathematics. And the one team that beat us is almost twice our size. I'm not going to say who they are. The teams that we beat are on this list here, among others. This is just a few of the teams that we beat. Glastonbury, Avon, Kingswood, Oxford, Hall, Conard, Academy of Aerospace and Engineering, formerly known as GAMIS, Simsbury, Canton, Northwest Catholic, East Catholic, among many others. These are teams that we beat the last 2 years in a row. Because of our high performance in the Capital Area Math League, we qualified to compete in the Connecticut State Meet. They only accept the top schools in each league. And now this is in the state meet. There's only 3 classes: small, medium, and large. And in the small class, which includes private schools, by the way, and all the private schools tend to be small schools, so we have to go up against them. We placed 3rd across the entire state of Connecticut, and we were the top public school in Connecticut. Schools that we beat from the state competition: the King's School in Stamford, Kingswood, Oxford, the Greenwich Country Day School, Hamden Hall, the Greenwich Academy, the Pomfret School, Academy of Aerospace and Engineering, Xavier, among many, many other schools. A lot of schools that allocate a lot of their time and resources developing mathematical skills. We here in Rocky Hill are able to take care of that. And I think it's worth noting, too, that we had a lot of quality freshmen on our team. 3 freshmen, Anvi Bose, Patrick Cherpish, and Vedant Gosavi, one of whom will be up here in a moment, did very, very well throughout the year. And in fact, at that state meet, Vedant Gosavi, who you'll see in a moment here, was the 4th freshman across the entire state of Connecticut for all the classes. Wow. Lastly, there's a national competition which you can play into with a qualification round. It's called the ARML competition. That's what Dr. Zito mentioned a moment ago. And we are fortunate to have 4 students qualify for this. The state of Connecticut only accepts 45 students across the whole state, public, private, Catholic, the whole thing. And we have almost 10%, 4 out of 45 students occupying this team here. They will travel to Penn State in early June to compete nationally and represent the state of Connecticut on the ARML squad. Those 4, actually, Vedant and Riddhi, can you come up here, please? Why don't you face them? Face them. Here we go. They see enough of me. They don't need to look at me. They need to look at you guys, right? The 4 students who qualified, Mukta Ramesh and Devith Karthik cannot be here tonight because they take physics at college level, so they have class on Thursday nights. Riddhi takes classes at the college level also, but she knows that board meetings are on Thursday, so she knew not to schedule classes for Thursday nights, so she can come to things like this all year. This is Riddhi Sharma, one of our elite math students in the building, and she qualified for ARML. And this is freshman Vedant Gosavi, who qualified for ARML, and who was also the 4th place freshman across the state of Connecticut. And lastly, I want to thank, on behalf of Mr. Chupta, from the bottom of our hearts, the board, the administration, for supporting them in this endeavor, which does include an overnight stay to Penn State, and for getting behind this and recognizing the hard work that they do. They really put a lot of time into this, and we're glad that you're behind it, and that means a lot. There's no better place than Rocky Hill, really. This is the best, so, and they know it. So, congratulations, guys. Thank you.
So when you think about the major leagues in baseball, you have to have a good feeder system. So now we're going to talk about middle school math and some outstanding math students coming along. So Coach Zukta, Coach Gresa, you may want to stick around for a second. We've got some math starts from the middle school. You guys are always looking for talent, right? Blue chip recruits. Miss Weaver, can you come up here too, please? Miss Weaver, our math director, if you could come up here with Mr. Maziarz. If you guys want to talk a little bit about the 2 students that we're recognizing tonight from the Math Counts competition. This is a statewide math contest for middle school students.
I guarantee they will make your team, these 2 students. I just would like to call up Trinab Ray and Tanisha Sahu. Come on up, guys. Going to speak briefly. I'm going to congratulate these 2 scholars. You can turn around and face the crowd too. Why not? And first, also, before I congratulate these 2, I do want to congratulate all the kids that are in the crowd tonight, those that are being honored and those that spoke. I know typically board meetings are riveting just by nature. Every meeting is awesome. But these meetings, I think all would agree in the room, these are the best meetings that we have, I think, of the whole year, is when we can honor our kids and recognize our kids. So these 2 amazing individuals standing in front of me are members of our Math Counts Club under the leadership of Mrs. Kennedy. Mrs. Kennedy, wave. wave. She's out there supporting her kids. She's wonderful. We, as Dr. Zito said, we are the feeder program to the high school, and we got some great kids to send you. That math tradition, that great math tradition that's at the high school now will be continued, especially with these two joining you. They participated, both of these individuals, in the Hartford Regional Math Counts competition several months ago at the University of Hartford, and I was fortunate enough to be able to attend and couldn't do many of the math problems that were that these two had to solve. I was so impressed. Only 10 students out of over 70 competitors made it to the state competition, and these two individuals did. So I want to congratulate Trinob and Tanisha. They are both true scholars, and we are proud that these two amazing students are representing Rocky Hill and GMS, represented Rocky Hill and GMS at the Math Counts state competition this year. Congratulations to these two individuals.
Again, Ms. Kennedy, want to recognize the coach at the middle school. If you could stand up. What good would math be without some tasty food? So we're going to talk about the Future Chefs competition now. So switching over to the competition at Mosier, Ms. Listro, we're going to recognize 4 of our students who competed with distinction. Sodexo sponsors an annual competition to get kids excited in the culinary arts. And we have 4 kids tonight. We're going to talk about the menus they created, and I believe we have a special prize for one overall winner.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Leanne Xenofontos. I am the food operations manager here in the district. So the Future Chefs event is sponsored by Sodexo and is designed to help educate children in healthy eating habits. Students in grade 4 and 5 at Mosier School submitted recipes for their favorite healthy fruit or vegetable side dish. And the competition took place at Mosier School cafeteria on Wednesday, April 5th, 2023. And the judging was based on the following criteria: originality, healthy attributes, ease of preparation, kid appeal, plate presentation, and taste. I'd like to invite our 4 finalists to come on up and show themselves to the board. Welcome, welcome. You guys can come on and stand up front.
Love it.
Yeah. And face whoever you want.
Awesome.
I'd like to invite Ms. Darlene Listro to now go into the next part, explaining what each student did for the recipe.
Our 4th place winner was Isha Gohill. I apologize. Our 5th place winner was Madison McCall, grade 4. Her culinary feast was Fruitastic Fruit Sticks with honey vanilla yogurt dip. She carefully cut pieces of fruit, added them to a skewer to create a very creative design with a watermelon base. Our 4th place winner. I really was a judge. Really? They all won in my book. So, all right. So, okay. Isha Gohill, we're going to recognize you next. 5th grader Isha had Veggie Puff Wonders, which included a puff pastry delight stuffed with steamed vegetables and just enough spice to make this treat delectable. Nice job, Isha. Yeah. Our next winner was Avantika Vignash, grade 4. She made a delicious guacamole prepared with a few family secret ingredients, which, by the way, are no longer secret. They were turmeric and red chili powder. And her plate presentation was amazing. She decorated the plate with tortilla chips and made it look like a flower. It was beautiful. And then our final contestant Our first place winner was Tyler Burleson, grade 5. Tyler's unbeatable citrus salad included the unlikely pairing of vegetables, which included beets, and fruit, which included grapefruit. And it turned out to be delicious. And all of us that judged, Mr. Zettergren was also a judge with me, Ms. Louise Adamo, and we were unanimous that that taste combination was delicious, Tyler. And to celebrate,
Tyler has won. Tyler has won the grand prize of a bike this year, as well as many other prizes that all of our contestants got on that evening. So we hope you get many, many miles out of that, Tyler. So Chuck Zettergren, Louise Adamo, and Darlene Listro served as our judges for the competition. As always, I'm sure Dr. Zito and Principal Annabelle Diaz, who were also in attendance in support of their students, would agree that this was an enjoyable event for everyone.
and their recipes are available at the back table. If you'd like a copy, as you exit, you can grab one. They really were delicious. Wouldn't you say, Mrs. Diaz? Yes. Yes, very good. Congratulations.
We're all set with the recognitions, and again, congratulations to all of the students and your families for all of their various recognitions this evening.
I will entertain a motion for a recess so we can congratulate the winners or allow them to clear out for the evening.
Motion for a 5-minute recess?
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Lafredo. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 5-minute recess. Thank you, everyone. Yeah. There.
Where's my dish?
You gotta make it yourself. Go get the recipes.
Out of 4,
You.
could grab one for me. I don't like this neighbor. I'm changing the town.
I'm telling you.
That was great.
It was fun,
Again.
right? I think we lost a lot of the kids, so I don't think we're going to do pictures tonight.
So great.
Yeah. I haven't
It's like cleaning out our garage. Yeah. So she's now moving out. Not. I don't know. Got a lot of stuff in the garage. No, her mom was there. I don't know. It was weird.
A couple chairs on, I think I just asked people on this one. Yale students and UConn students. I'm loving that. So we could ask them over. What? Yeah. Yeah. I like that.
Oh, we lost Josh.
Yeah.
Good, all right.
Must be present.
Okay, we can now call this meeting of the Rocky Hill Board of Education back to order. We will start with audience participation. Anyone here in the public tonight wishing to address the Board of Education? See how quickly the room clears out after I give out awards, huh? All right. Report from student representatives. Do we have anyone from Rocky Hill High School tonight? Mr. Jokel, how are you? It's your third time up here tonight, sir.
Do you need that little stand to stand up? Right?
Hi, I'm Nicholas Jokel, a current junior. So the past month and the upcoming month is very busy for Rocky Hill High School. In the beginning of this month, from March 31st and April 1st, was Footloose the musical. I was in it. Over 800 people attended between both shows. It was a massive hit. Also, the day after that was Terrier Tough, and that was money raised for the student council, which goes to the school. And there was 45 plus teams. That's where the students and outside participators, it's an obstacle course and lots of mud. It was really fun. I participated in that too. And then the World Language Honor Society induction occurred the week that week of April 2nd. And the SATs were at the end of March as well. Upcoming, within the next week, we have Scott Driscoll coming in to talk about digital safety to all the grades. The athletics for spring are currently mid-season, and those are going good. Junior prom is coming up on May 5th. Senior prom's on May 19th, and the class night for the seniors is on May 31st. The senior picnic is on June 1st. And the senior awards night's on June 6th. That's where seniors are recognized for their scholarships. Also coming up is the jazz band Pasta Dinner and the Tri-M Honor Society, which is a music honor society induction on May 16th. And the National Art Honor Society induction is on May 24th. And finally, the spring concert for band and chorus is on May 23rd. The year's coming to an end quick. So yeah, a lot of events, but thank you.
Excellent, thank you. We'll now move on to the report from the student representatives from Myrtle H. Stevens.
Good evening, everyone. I have two wonderful student representatives here this evening to share with you all the great things that are going on at Stevens School. And they are Carly Russo and Grant Hoffman. So please join me in welcoming them.
Good evening. My name is Carly Russo, and I'm a third grade student at Stevens School. I'm excited to share with you some of the things my classmates and I have been busy learning and doing since the fall.
Good evening. My name is Grant Hoffman, and like Carly, I'm excited to share all the great things happening at Stevens. Since we presented last, we have a couple more PBIS assemblies, and want to thank Board of Education members for attending the December assembly, where we highlighted kindness and gratitude.
Our student council hosted a fun spirit week before winter break, and we had fun sharing our crazy socks, PJs, and dress for success were just a few of the themes that week. We really love these spirit weeks, right, Grant?
Yes, we do, Carly. We also love being rewarded with special lunches for good behavior. The LED lights, music, and small treat really motivate us to remember our respectful behavior in the lunchroom.
Grant, do you remember that we had a summer reading challenge goal that if met, Mrs. Duran would get slimed?
Oh, yes, I remember. And when we found out we didn't meet the goal and were given a second chance, we read like crazy to make sure we met our goal the second time. We filled the bucket with Husky Heroes and loved watching Mrs. Duran get slimed.
The party continued at Stevens School when we returned from winter break. our PTO had their big fundraiser Husky Glow Dance Booster-thon. They had raised enough money to purchase new stage curtains and new risers for future performances. The Glow Dance was so much fun. Since we met the fundraising goal, we earned a camping day where we read throughout the day in our tents with our flashlights. Partnership with Rocky Hill Youth Services has provided students the opportunity to participate in the Art Explorers after-school program. It has been so popular with students that they are offering a third session to students beginning this week. Everyone in town was talking about the Harlem Wizards. When they came to visit our school, they had the crowd pumped up for the big game. This spring, every grade level is hosting in a school assembly as well as a field trip outside of the school walls. Kindergarten enjoyed a visit from the Hungerford Nature Center. Our first, second, and third graders have had a visit from Mad Science, and Beardsley Zoo will also be visiting this spring. Read Across America is always a fun week, and this year was no different. We had many local celebrity readers visit classrooms to share stories. The Rocky Hill Police Department, Fire Department, the mayor, and a local Connecticut judge all came to visit and share their love of reading. The visiting author this year was New England Patriots Super Bowl champion and author Malcolm Mitchell. We all received a copy of his book, The Magician's Hat. The show included a magic show that was incredible, and we left all excited to keep reading and growing as readers. Mrs. O'Brien helped our third grade class create a uniquely creative performance based on literature. The concert was developed around the book, The Perfect Square. It included song, dance, and instrumental performances. Carly, have you noticed how so many of the things we are sharing are connected to reading? Yes, Grant. We love to read at Stevens School. Carly, did you go to this year's district art show? Yes, I did. I've never seen such a packed house. The arts are really alive, and Rocky Hill and Stevens School had great representation in the show. Miss Miller did a nice job selecting works to share with the community. But the big show was this week at Stevens School. Yes, it was, Grant. Our school was transformed into an art gallery. We really have a lot of talented artists at our school. There are about 7 weeks of school left, and our school and PTO have so much still planned for us to enjoy. We are really lucky kids, Carly. Yes, we are, Grant. We will soon be taking the SBAC test, but then we'll be rewarded with our field day event. Board members and district administrators are invited to join us on June 2nd to see the fun. Yes, and as third graders, we have a new Britain Bees game to look forward to, as well as the PTO's end-of-year social that they are planning for us. Grant and I want to thank you for inviting us here tonight to share with the Board of Education all of the wonderful things happening at Stevens School. We are very grateful for learning made fun at Stevens School. Thank you again, and have a nice evening.
Great job.
I told you they were good.
They are good. Excellent. Yeah. Here you go. Yeah.
I just wanted to make a quick comment, Nick, before you run out. You were a little humble saying that you were in the show. He was the star of the show, and he was fantastic. He blew me away, and honestly, I think it was the best show Rocky Hill ever put on since I've seen, and that includes the 4 I was in here. So you were fantastic.
Great job, Nick. You are more than welcome to leave unless you want to. We usually don't have anyone in attendance, so thank you for coming. They did a great job. All right, moving on. We have 4 sets of minutes. We have the March 9th, 2023 Board of Ed meeting minutes, March 13th, 2023 Board of Ed special meeting, March 22nd, 2023 Board of Ed Curriculum Committee meeting, and March 22nd, 2023 Board of Ed Facilities Committee meeting. Would anyone like to request any edits, deletions, or revisions to the minutes? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion from Ms. Manella. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by down there. Okay. We have a motion. Ms. Rolfe, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes 9-0. Thank you. All right, correspondence. Dr. Zito.
We do have some correspondence. First of all, we have 4 staff members that are either retiring or resigning for various reasons. In terms of retirements, Mr. Fortier, longtime English teacher at the high school, and Mr. Molganicki, a social studies teacher at the middle school. Both have been with us for a long time, and they've reached that very kind of mixed feeling on the milestone where they are. They're excited about leaving, but they're going to miss us. So we will miss them as well. We wish them all the best. Also, Taylor Friedman is leaving. She's been in the district about 8 years to start a family, and is going to pursue that at this point, and doesn't plan to teach. May come back at some point. And then another loss is Miss Colleen Martin, who, if you recall, started the Dream Academy. She's relocating to South Carolina with her family. So she'll be missed, and we will be looking to replace these folks as we move past the budget in May and get into the spring and summer.
Excellent.
Also, along with correspondence, I sent out 2 messages in the last few weeks. We've had 2 of our administrators who successfully defended their doctoral dissertations at the University of Arkansas. Miss Mary Schaefer, I had the honor of serving on her dissertation committee, and Dr. Darlene Listro. So they both just completed the process.
Excellent.
And I congratulate
Congratulations, Ms. Listro.
Work that those 2 ladies put in, and I'm really proud of their efforts, and it was an honor for me to serve on Mary's committee. Those are the items in correspondence.
All right, moving on to the consent calendar. Approval of the special education IDA grant, non-renewal of employees' long-term and building substitutes, and approval of the recommendation for the change order execution for the Griswold Middle School Science Labs. Would anyone like anything removed from the consent calendar? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the consent calendar?
Motion from Mr. Slattery,
Second.
seconded by Ms. Tucker. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes 9-0. Thank you. Committee reports, curriculum, Ms. Tucker.
The curriculum committee met on March 22nd to discuss the a piloting program of the composition initiative. So there were members of the Sustainable Rocky Hill Task Force that reported to the committee on sustainability initiatives being considered in the town. The task force would like to extend its work into the schools and suggested potential ways to manage food waste in the schools, including composting initiative. The committee agreed to the pilot program at the high school would be appropriate place to start, but that additional subcommittee meetings will be scheduled to discuss the next steps of implementation.
All right, excellent. Any questions for Ms. Tucker? I have one. Have we heard any more about this initiative and possibly next steps for a meeting or not? I know we're getting some feedback, right? Have we heard anything?
Yeah, we're reaching out to a couple districts. We think conversations with Mr. Lamontagne, a fall kickoff would probably be appropriate with everything that's going on now at the high school. We can work with Ms. Tucker to schedule a follow-up committee.
Okay,
meeting.
excellent. If someone could circle back with, I guess it's Mr. Caleb, is that his name?
Derek Kalen.
Derek Halen and Mr. Ciccarello. I know they were very interested in this initiative. Okay, facilities, Mr. Gavin.
We had a meeting on March 22nd where we discussed the middle school science labs that were just passed in the consent calendar. We also got an update from Mr. Lamontagne regarding the HVAC project at Stevens School and the outline of that work to be done this summer. And that's it.
I think that is it. Excellent. Any questions for Mr. Gavin? Looks like it's going to be a busy summer, right? Roof, science labs, some AC, and whatever other repairs we need to throw in there, right? So,
Working on it.
yeah, busy summer. All right, finance, Ms. Tucker.
Finance committee has not met.
Yeah, we're still in budget, so P&N, Mr. Gavin. I don't believe you've met
We have
either.
not met, but we are looking to schedule a meeting after the budget.
Excellent. Policy, Mr. Slattery.
Policy has not met.
Okay. Special education, Mr. Slattery.
Special education is not met.
Okay. Correct counsel, Mr. Desai.
Just waiting for my turn.
All right, here he goes, Mr. Desai.
So, Craig, monthly meeting was held on April 19. It was a short meeting. Policy committee presented various revised policies for council's approval. Craig Budget 101 presentation was shared by the executive director, Greg Florio. He highlighted that the early childhood programs are growing and includes Head Start. Budgets are based on receiving in terms of fees, tuitions, and grants, and other source of revenues to support. There was also discussion on leadership budget, which will be adopted in May with an increase of about $590,000. Mr. Florio also reminded that Craig's annual meeting is on Wednesday, May the 17th, and school superintendents are invited to join. And one more thing I want to add is during the Craig meeting, Rocky Hill BOE received kudos by Craig chairman for efficiently moving through the budget process and adopting the budget in a timely fashion. Some of the towns are still working on it. So again, I want to thank Dr. Zito and his team, and also the BOE members. That's all for me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Desai. Any questions for Mr. Desai? Hearing none. School safety, Mr. Slattery.
School safety is not met. I anticipate probably meeting after the budget's done.
All right. All right, that is it. Anyone have any questions for any of the committee reports? I know the budget honestly takes up most of our time during this part of the year, so hopefully after adoption, we can focus our efforts on committees. All right, moving on. Old business. There is none, correct, Dr. Zito?
Correct.
All right. And new business, item 15, the annual healthy food certification. Dr. Zito or Mr. Zettergren? Who would like to start?
Well, Mr. Zettergren is here to answer questions. This is an annual motion that the board needs to take for healthy foods and also the exemptions for food and beverages in order to be eligible for the state and federal monies that come in. So one of you has to read both of these motions. We take them separately, but it's got to be read into the record so that we can accept the finances. So I don't know if you have any questions. This is an annual thing we do.
No, this is
pretty
the
much
joy of being the
requirement.
vice chair every year. So you're reading, Mr. Slattery.
Reading statutory language.
So we do have to read this motion into the record. Ms. Manella's smiling because she's heard it about 20 times now.
Allison is glad she's not on the board.
Yeah.
So I will open the floor to Mr. Slattery to read the motion into the record, please.
Certainly. I move on behalf of the Rocky Hill Board of Education pursuant to Connecticut General Statute, Section 10-215F. Board of Education, a governing authority, certifies that all food items offered for sale to students in the schools under its jurisdiction and not exempted from the Connecticut nutrition standards published by the Connecticut State Department of Education will comply with the Connecticut nutrition standards during the period of July 1st, 2023 through June 30th, 2024. This certification shall include all food offered for sale to students separately from reimbursable meals at all times and from all sources, including but not limited to school stores, vending machines, school cafeterias, culinary programs, and any fundraising activities on school premises sponsored by the school or non-school organizations and groups.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Manella. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes 9-0. Now round two, Mr. Slattery.
On behalf of the Rocky Hill Board of Education, make the following motion regarding combined food and beverage exemptions. The Board of Education or governing authority will allow the sale to students of food items that do not meet the Connecticut nutrition standards and beverages not listed in Section 10-215 221Q of the Connecticut General Statutes, provided that the following conditions are met. 1, the sale is in connection with an event occurring after the end of regular school day or on the weekend. 2, the sale is at the location of the event. And 3, the food and beverage items are not sold from a vending machine or school store. An event is an occurrence that involves more than just a regularly scheduled practice, meeting, or extracurricular activity. For example, soccer games, school plays, and interscholastic debates are events, but soccer practices, play rehearsals, and debate team meetings are not. The regular school day is the period from midnight before to 30 minutes after the end of the official school day. Location means where the event is being held and must be the same place as the food and beverage sales. Chuck Zettergren, Assistant Superintendent.
All right, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Manella. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes 9-0. Chuck, did we do all right?
Very good. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, moving on. We have the Assistant Superintendent for Personnel and Student Services, Ms. Stevenson. How are you?
I'm good.
All right.
All
What do we
right.
got?
Well, first of all, I just want to say congratulations to everyone. It's amazing. I love seeing the kids and all the awards, and congratulations to Darlene and Mary, and just a lot of really exciting things. And then I get to talk to you guys about CT sets. So there's that. So I'm sorry that it's not as exciting as all the other things that came before this, but it's still very important. So I'm just going to give you an update on where we are with CT SEDS. So we're almost at the end of our first year. And for those of you, if you're not sure, CT SEDS is the new IEP and 504 system that Connecticut has adopted. So prior to that, we had something called IEP Direct, and we had that for many, many, many years. The staff was all very comfortable with it, and we made a change this year, and it was a pretty big transition. So I'm just going to give you an update. At this point in the year, all of our students are in the new system, so we're no longer using IEP Direct. So we've definitely made the transition. And I want to thank the board because we could not have done this without Jesse Herman, Sarah St. Pierre, and Sandy Mall. Those 3 people are just integral to this transition. So I'd love to be able to take some of the credit, but I've been really busy doing a lot of other things, and they've been the ones that have really been hands-on with the staff. So thank you for Jesse and Sarah and Sandy are very talented people. They're great with working with other people and very knowledgeable about CT SEDS, so they've been amazing with this transition. Sandy and Jesse are attending weekly virtual training sessions to just kind of troubleshoot the issues. So that's been happening all year. We know not to bother them when they're on. They have their headphones on. They're in the virtual sessions, and that's been going on all year. Sandy, I think I told you this, Sandy Mall has been going and doing office hours in the schools. So she's in the schools every day, traveling around. And the state gave us a grant, $15,000. And with that money, we've hired building subs so that they can cover, so the teachers can go get freed up to go work with Ms. Mall and work on the IEPs and troubleshoot and do all of that. So that system's been very, very important into really getting the teachers the help that they need and the support that they need. So that's been great. And then, just to kind of give you an idea, the most challenging aspect, so there's a vendor, it's PSG, and that's the vendor of CT SEDS. And I think they bit off a little bit more than they could chew. I don't think that they fully understood what this really was all about. So there's a lot of glitches with the system. With IEP Direct, we used to be able to just call IEP Direct and say, hey, we have a problem, we can't get this to work, and you'd actually get like a person, and they'd go, oh yeah, just press this button, oh thanks, okay. That's not how it works anymore. You have to put in a ticket, you have to wait for someone to get back to you. So what that's causing is anxiety because you can't get the problem fixed. So that's really the articles that you're reading in the paper, the frustration, that's really what that's about, is because there's no longer an easy fix, and then sometimes we're out of compliance because, as you know, you have a timeline to get the IEPs finalized into the families. Well, if you can't get the vendor to fix the issue, you're out of compliance. So then people have meltdowns because they don't want to be out of compliance with a federal document. So that's really where a lot of the issues are stemming from. There's nothing we can do about that. We just continue to put in tickets, do the best that we can, and work with the vendor, and we're just doing the best that we can. But we're in a pretty good place. I did talk to some staff just to kind of say, hey, how you doing? And they said, it's change, it's new, it's not awesome, but it's not the worst thing in the world. We're getting by, we're getting through it, it's gonna be okay. So that's where we are. I don't know if anybody has any questions, but I anticipate at this time next year, it's all gonna be good.
Right. Any questions for Ms. Stevenson on that?
One quick question.
Yes.
So, if you put in a ticket, I'm assuming, would that count as like helping not getting out of compliance, so you don't get in trouble, so you have the proof of?
The state, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the state is aware, so we're not getting citations. We haven't gotten any citations. In the beginning of this whole thing, we were, so you have to get an IEP out. You have like 5 days to get it out. It was like 3 weeks, and we weren't hearing back from them.
wow.
And it was not good. But luckily, our parents understand that. Our parents attend PPTs here. We have almost every PPT parents attend, so they know what's going on. They're invested in their, you know what I mean? So we don't have these parents that have no idea what's going on and rely on they know. So we're in good communication with families, so we're not having phone calls about where's my IEP. So we're in a good, stable place.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you guys, your whole group for.
Yeah, no, they're really amazing, really good people, good hires. So thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Stevenson?
I just wanted to mention that, and I've been saying this through the year, we have just really been steady with our retention rates of teachers, and we've had, I know Dr. Zito mentioned a few resignations, a couple retirements, and a couple people relocating or, leaving to start a family, but we're still we have all of our positions filled, certified, non-certified. It's been really great, so I just continue to be, I think it's because there's really good working conditions here. We have great facilities. We pay our teachers well, and it's a great place to work. So that continues when, unfortunately, other districts continue to struggle with that. I anticipate the few positions we are going to have open for next year, we're going to get great candidates and fill with no problem. So I just, again, commend you for being a board of a district where people want to work. So I think it's great.
Excellent. All right. Good. Thank you. Moving on, Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations, Mr. Zettergren.
Okay, in your board packet is the regular financial report reflecting year-to-date figures for the month ending March 31st. In this report, I have highlighted some of the accounts that we are currently in deficit, and we'll keep a close eye on as we progress through the end of the year, getting close to that. On an overall basis, I do see us ending the year with a decent surplus. However, as you probably know, the town manager has recommended a cut to our 23-24 budget request of approximately $507,000. So I'm sure we're going to have a lot of conversations as we move through this process and see what the town council does with that recommendation. So there's going to be a lot of discussions that will be taking place within the next couple of months. We will continue to monitor the various accounts in our budget and give you feedback on updates on, how we're progressing. As Dr. Zito has mentioned in his board updates, we will be presenting our budget to the town council on Tuesday, May 2nd at 5:30. So that should be interesting. We are in the process of finalizing the security grant application that is due next week, and we are also in the process of finalizing the lease agreement for the additional space for the Dream Academy restaurant. So that's nearing its end. Mr. LaMontagne has been in touch with the contractors on the GMS roof and science classroom projects that will begin once school is out. The submittal process is taking place, and we should be in good shape to start those projects immediately upon the end of school. Within the next week or so, we should begin our open enrollment process of our benefits packages for all the staff, and they'll be making those selections. So it's just a busy time of year. There's a lot going on. But if anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to.
Any questions for Mr. Zettergren? Ms. Minella.
I have a question. Do you have any updates from the state regarding the lunches for next fiscal year?
That process, from my understanding, is still ongoing. They haven't put any funds aside from a budget standpoint for the state to fund any of the school lunch programs. The original legislation that was passed didn't provide any funding as well. So I'm sure there's conversations going on, but I don't know what that final outcome is as of yet.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a bill that's made it out of committee for funding for that. Yeah, I think it's just, it got approved and then just now it's moving sideways, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume it would have to go to appropriations for funding, so.
You know,
We'll see. Ms. Morphia, yes.
Carrie Wood did at the town council mention it. She said she's been fighting hard for it to be fully funded to us, at least this year, because it's kind of not fair to throw it on us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With our budgets already being finalized.
But right now, it doesn't even look like it may pass legislation.
Right.
It hasn't made its way out yet, so
Yeah, it has
so it may not, it may be a moot point.
The funding or the mandate?
Both.
Oh,
The
okay.
program and the mandate to have the program and the associated funding,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I know she's been fighting
Yeah.
hard not to get anything else thrown on us.
Yeah.
budget-wise,
Yeah.
Especially this year.
Yeah.
So.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That makes you feel
Perfect.
All right, any other questions for Mr. Zedegran? Hearing none, we will move on. Ms. Listro, or should I say Dr. Listro? Is there anything else? That's it for tonight? All right, okay. Dr. Zito. There's too many doctors on this.
All right, a couple quick things. As Chuck mentioned, the board's budget will be presented to the town council on May 2nd. It'd be great if we could have you there for your support. I know in the past, a number of board members have attended. One positive development from the town manager's presentation was he's recommending a third full-time SRO. So they would remove the overtime shift, but we go up to 3 SROs, which is a really good step in the right direction. And I know the safety committee was looking at that. And then Nick Jokel pretty much took away the rest of my report tonight. Junior and senior prom coming up in May.
Yeah.
May 5th at Clements Castle. In Portland, that's the junior prom, AquaTurf, Southington, May 19th. And then graduation is at the Dunkin' Donut Park on June 17th. That's a Saturday graduation. Rain date of Sunday, June 18th. Any board members with seniors this year? Don't think so this year. Right. So that's the report. Happy to answer any questions you might have about those items.
Any questions for Dr. Zito? Hearing none, okay, we'll move on to my report. As Dr. Zito mentioned, our budget presentation is May 2nd. Currently, the town manager has proposed a cut of approximately $500,000 to the board. I think any board members that can be there to support the board in its efforts, it would be greatly appreciated. I think this board has been very fiscally responsible over the past 2 years, especially with the ARPA funds that were distributed. It's interesting that you read in the paper, towns looking at 10% increases, cutting teachers because, you know, the bottom's falling out now that, you know, the ESSER and the federal COVID money has expired. I think we did a very diligent and responsible job managing our COVID funds and our budgets, and that's why we have the increase that we have this year. I think it's very responsible and respectable for what we're proposing. And Dr. Grace's comments tonight about what's going on, I was not even aware of the high level of math competition going on at this high school. And, you know, those are schools that we talk about year after year. We compare ourselves from SAT scores, other test ranks and matrix of where we fall with them. And then here we are, we have our math teachers saying how we're beating those schools in statewide competitions. On a side note, I wrote to myself to have Dr. Zito incorporate Mr. Grace's presentation into our budget presentation because, you know, that shows the high value and the leverage of education in Rocky Hill. The cost per pupil for us is so much lower than these communities, and our students are going out and making comparable or greater achievements against those towns when we talk about educational achievements and programs. So I think that was just great to hear.
We'll definitely include that. One of the slides we put in, if you, because you're at all of these with me, is we put highlights from the district.
Yeah.
So that's usually, you know, we like to show the college admissions, and then these these types of academic highlights, which are fantastic.
Yeah, that's just, I was just so impressed with that presentation tonight. But yeah, so that will be May 2nd. Obviously, the more board members that can come to support the board and its budget, it would be appreciated. And one item that Dr. Zito didn't mention that I thought some board members may want to be available for is, I believe on May 1st, we're going to have the dedication for Hoy Field.
Yes, Hoy Field, May 1st.
I will turn it over to Dr. Zito
Yes,
on that
thank you
one.
for bringing that up. So the Rocky Hill Historical Society has asked us to locate the original Hoy Field plaque. It's been refurbished, touched up. We're going to rededicate that new beautiful field. It's at Mosier. So for years, the old Mosier was closed, and I think Hoy was like a T-ball field, basically.
Yeah.
And now it's really impressive the way it looks with the board's new design. And Terrence Hoy, who lives in Glastonbury, I think this gentleman is maybe in his early 80s, Ron? 82. His little brother, Jimmy Hoy, is who the field was named after. Jimmy was a Rocky Hill Little League player who died like in middle school or something. He got an illness tragically, and they dedicated the field to him. There's a DeMoro that's involved in this story too. If you go on the Rocky Hill, I think Mr. Ciccarello sent us the link.
Yes,
I
he
can put it in
did.
the weekly
He did.
update.
Yeah, that'd be
on
great.
Hoy Field.
Yeah.
But DeMoro Field also has a connection, and that gentleman passed away as well when he was maybe a freshman in college. So they named these two fields after these guys. But on May 1st is the dedication for the new Hoy Field, and the guest of honor will be Terrence Hoy.
Oh,
Who grew up in
nice.
Rocky Hill, who's putting off his trip to Florida so that he can attend. He's been asking me, when are we doing this? It's, we've been in weather. So he wants to schedule his vacation around this. So, yeah, May 1st at 4:30. And what we're trying to do is set up a Little League game right afterwards on the field. So we can do the ribbon cutting, because it'll be a quick ceremony, and then have a couple of Little League teams out there to play. So thank you for reminding me.
No, it's going to be a great event. It's a wonderful thing. That's all I have. With that, I will entertain. Oh, we're in trouble. Miss Flynn, what did we miss?
Teacher Appreciation Week will be coming up before your next meeting, and the board always provides breakfast at each school during that week, and I just wanted you all to know that you will be doing that again this year.
Thank you, Miss Flynn.
We'll be cooking each morning.
I'm in.
And Mr. Dillon has already signed the letter Miss Flynn prepared, so.
That is, I just wanted you to know.
Thank you. No, that's a great reminder. You know, our teachers are certainly the foundation and backbone of the great results we get in Rocky Hill. So well deserved for them. Thank you. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Mr. Slattery, is there a second?
Second.
Ms. Tucker, there's a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned, 8:35. Thank you.